Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lesego M. Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of pod, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. On this week's episode, we are going to touch on the derby. We are going to talk about the ceiling challenge, Cindy MAKHATHINI or CYAN Bougie. We are going to talk about the SAPS test. We are also going to talk about the Hermes bots that have been going on social media, and we are going to talk about the 3 million ad allegedly the ad TREVOR Noah did. We are going to talk about Tahi's take on everyday. We are going to talk about the CPUT, the student that stepped the girlfriend, and how are you doing today? Are you good? How was your weekend? Was it great? There's a lot that happened over the weekend, and I myself haven't been in the greatest of space ever. So the song of the day, not even the song, the album of from the weekend, till today, For Your Eyes Only by J.COLE. It currently resembles, or it's a symbol of what I'm going through at the moment, and some of the people that I'm with in my life, we're going through, there's a lot going on, and I hope we find a solution, and there's a lot we can take from this moment. I'm not alone, but this episode is not about me. It's about the podcast and the people who listen to the podcast. I'm sure you can even hear that I'm a bit down, but it's one of those, days where you just want to be in your own space, and, the people that you love, good food, good music, and just not talk to anybody. But at the end of the day, we have to deliver the work. We have to record these episodes, because when I started this podcast, I took a vow to myself that I am going to be consistent. I am going to release consistent, and I am going to release an episode each and every day, and that's what I plan on doing each and every day, regardless of what I might be going through at the moment. But I have to deliver. How is your day? Tell me how you're feeling today in the comment section. I'm your host, Lesego M. Daddy Waddy Pod. The song, or rather the album of today, is by J.COLE, For Your Eyes Only. It was released in the 9th December 2016 under Rock Nation, which is owned by Jay-Z and J.COLE's record label, as well as an imprint, which is Dreamville, and the collaboration with Interscope as well. The length of the album, the LP, the length of the album, the LP, I don't know what LP stands for, but I'm sure in the next episode we can find what the LP stands for. But the length of the LP is 44 minutes 32 seconds. That's the length of the entire project, and a whole lot of people really enjoyed the album. 90% of the people who listen, 98% of the people who listen to the album, they really liked it. Excuse me for that. And I also really enjoyed it, and given the state of where I'm going through in life, I think this album in a nutshell defines what I'm going through. Let's talk the derby. How did you find the derby? How was the experience between Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs? For people who don't know that the derby was happening on the weekend, the derby was happening. Unfortunately for the Chiefs fans, us, and I also saw people who were using the Ramaphosa clip in the rugby game where he said, "Yo, basebenzile abafana, cishe bamisa inhliziyo," that clip, and I'm sure a lot of you do know that clip. So for the people who were Pirates fans, they were using that clip, and they were saying, like, Chiefs supporters can't use the same clips because the Pirate side won. Like football politics, there's also that to it. And overall, man, I think we still have a huge or a long way to go, as far as like the soccer in South Africa. I was looking at it, and I was like, I'm still not impressed. Because I took a break from like PSL. I was like, the only time I'm going to go back to PSL is if the standard of football has improved, or because I'm a big fan of, like, I'm not even a big fan, I wouldn't say, because people who watch EPL more than me, more players than me and substitute and the history of EPL like that. So I prefer to watch EPL though over PSL. I prefer to watch La Liga over PSL. So just to mention a few, leagues. Those are some of the leagues that I really enjoy watching, and when I compare and I can see a huge gap, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm not ready to really, go back to watching Chiefs. As much as I am a big supporter of Chiefs, don't get that twisted, but I still feel there's a huge room of improvement where we can still work on, because Chiefs is hurting us, guys. Like, honestly, Chiefs is doing damage to us as supporters. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me know what you think. I think the game was totally trash, in comparison. I know like the standard of football in our country is not there where we want it to be, but for the culture or the tradition of the derby, it didn't give it, it wasn't giving for me. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be insensitive to people who really found that enjoyable. I don't mean to be insensitive, but that's my take. For those of you who don't know, Pirates actually won 1-0 over Kaizer Chiefs. Forgot Muhapi, I think is the guy, Orlando Pirates dude who scored. He also got a yellow card, by the way. Pirates actually had 3 yellow cards on the day, but Kaizer Chiefs had a better ball possession. It had more passes, I think, but it never had what Kaizer Chiefs never had it never had more goals on target like Pirates did. I think even the cards, they never had more cards than Pirates. Pirates had that, and it shows that the Pirates was putting more pressure in comparison to Chiefs, and people were surprised to find out that I was with someone who was like, yo, Kuni is still a keeper and it's like, yeah, he's still a keeper in Kaizer Chiefs. He's doing whatever he can to make sure we stay afloat as a team. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about the SAPS. I mean, congratulations to everybody who qualified for the SAPS test, which is happening today. Some of the people who are writing today will be qualified into the boot camp where they'll be training to become, police officers. So there's a huge process that's going on to vex people who will be, a part of the program, the SAPS. I think for a huge portion of you remember there were ads going out earlier on this year saying Guti SAPS is hiring, or is it hiring, or is taking people who are seen to become, police officers in future. And I think that entire boot camp, it takes something around 9 months before you can be a qualified police officer. So, congratulations. I know like a friend of mine who applied. I don't know if he's also writing today, but congrats to him, and all the best with all that. And I also was tempted to also do it, but I was like, the schedule and even the character of the person and the things that I want to achieve don't really align with being in that field. And all respect to the people who are in that specific field, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's about it. Congrats to everyone that qualified, and I hope that you all pass on it. Again, I wanted to touch on this. I saw Taghi's, I don't know, what do they call those thingies on TikTok, those videos, snippets. I saw a snippet of Taghi in TikTok. He was going off over how Galax Boy, the product is not a good product, and people are always posing and everything, and he was going off of that. He said, like, why are we not speaking out? We were quick to speak out when the 33 million TREVOR deal came out, but when it's Galaxy Boy and the product is not a quality product, we take a seat back and we don't talk about it. Why is that the people that are too quick to post the prices of Galaxy Boy in their statuses? Why are they not talking up? Why are they not speaking up about, when the products are not a good product? Why are they keeping quiet? And I'm like, at this point, listening to Tahi speak, I must say, Ubuti, it took me back to a moment where there was a time I was listening to Vusi Tembegwayo. He was saying something about the culture of Indian people, saying Ubuti, or Arabs or European people in this country, to say like, we will continue buying on your shop. You make a mistake, we come back, we say like, listen, your product has A, B, and C mistake. Go back and fix that A, B, and C mistake, and we'll keep on buying. We'll keep on buying that product, but you must fix A, B, and C. You know what I mean? That's how the businesses of those people are growing. It's because they support one another, regardless of what may be happening, with the product. But the support will always or forever be there. They don't go out on social media and say, Rajesh's product is not the best, or Loshni's product is not the best. They support one another, but in private, they fix A, B, and C. This is a great product, but if you don't, might be the downfall of your business, because this is everything. And to have that relationship as Black people, I think it's imperative for our growth, or the culture that we are trying to build as a country of Black, that's infused with Black people. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think for this culture or this generation of people who are trying to introduce certain things from certain cultures, we see like, this is how Indian are progressing, and we try to introduce that to make sure Nati we also succeed the way they are. I think to see Tariq going off of that, and I was like, maybe he might be right in so many ways, but given the influence, I think the approach and how he was delivering everything he was saying, I think I felt as if there could have been a better way. He could have done better as far as like how he was approaching everything he was saying on that video, and even relationship. He's also an upcoming brand. For you to start bashing people in the sense that he did, that might be him, but I'm just saying, to have relationship is very important in this industry of entertainment. To have relationship with brands, bigger brands, and Galaxy Boy is a bigger brand. I think to give a review without having to leave a bad taste in people's mouths about the brand is a way to go, to say, like, this is the culture, as I said, this is the culture we are trying to build as South Africans, and this is how we go about achieving it. I think if we can start having those, platforms where we like, oh, Tari, this is how, or call out to say, yeah, you have a point, but then this is how you need to address it. Or people who are closer to him to say, yeah, you might have a point, but why not text them and say this, and later come back with content that's structured in a sense, Yoguti. Even when you criticize, it's constructive criticism against him, And that's my take, I'm not trying to kiss anybody. I'm not buying faces. I'm not chasing clout. That's just my honest opinion on what's been going on with the issue concerning Tahi's TikToks video, Trevor Noah and the Galaxy Boy, and the products that are not, And congratulations, congratulations to everybody, the SAPS, as I said, and, shout out to Tahi anyway. There's no hate there, and I hope that maybe when he gets to listen to this one day, he'll hear there's no hate. And shout out to Trevor, by the way. He's also pushing us to the world, South Africa to SA to the world, Africa to the world. I think Black Coffee had an album saying Africa to the world. I think is it Africa to the world, something along those lines. I think Black Coffee had, for those of you who just joined us on the line, or on the line or on the podcast directories. I keep on saying on the line for some reason, in a whole lot of the episodes. I keep on saying on the line, as if we have guests, but we don't have guests. So for those of you who just joined us on the podcast, I'm your host, the CPUT Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. We are going out for an ad break, and we'll be talking more about the ceiling challenges, MAKHATHINI, CYAN, Bougie, and more. Let's stay tuned for what's to come next. Cheers. Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lesego M. Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are new to the pod, please don't forget to like, comment, rate the show to get a notification for each and every time it's a new episode. Yeah. So for people who just joined us, for the past 15 minutes, I did touch on the derby case of Chiefs versus Pirates. Pirates came out victorious in that. Congrats to MAKHATHINI. I'm a Chiefs fan, and we spoke about his rant on TikTok and the approach I think we should take. And yeah, the song of the day, or rather the album of the day, given the mood that I'm going through and the people around my life that we are going through, I said it was For Your Eyes Only, an album by J.COLE, which was released on the 9th of December 2016, which is a 44-minute LP. J.COLE was actually speaking about his life in that album. I truly think that's a classical album, and for a lot of the people that listen, or a huge portion of the people that listen to that album, they rated it 98. They said out of 100%, 98% of the people that listened to it, they really enjoyed it. So I think, given that stats, I think we can all agree with it, that album is one of the classic albums that J.COLE released, alongside Forest Hill, and KOD. And I just hope it's the same pattern as well with the album that's also coming, which is the Fall Off by J.COLE. I think maybe if he's using or in the pattern of releasing albums on the 9th of December, it's really interesting. What are some of the songs that he has in that album? I think I'm very keen to listening to the album when it comes out, and I think I'm ready. He's been talking about it. He's been, killing a lot of features currently, and like he said on the 21 verse, he said he wants to be a part of everybody's album, and he's doing that, and he's killing it, and I really enjoyed this phase of J.COLE and the music, and how authentic the dude is, and how humble and respectful he is to himself, the craft, and the people who are, his audience, or the people that are interviewing him. I really genuinely think about J.COLE, as much as I don't know him personally, but he seems like a really, really good guy, and a genuine dude at it even, and I think we need more of those people in the industry, because I've heard a lot of people talking about how the people are so fake in the music industry or in the industry of entertainment, but I think people generally just tend to be fake in a lot of the things, and they're just doing it to appeal, or tempi pushers, they're just pushing that for the temporary time, or they're just buying their bosses' faces, and I want us, before we get into a lot of the things that happened, I want us to talk about the trend that's currently going on in Cape Peninsula University of Tech. So there's a student who stepped her girlfriend, the guy stepped the girlfriend, and the students are going crazy. So the guy is being beaten up very bad I've seen videos. For those of you who want to take a look at that, you all should head on to Twitter and just search CPUT. You'll get an opportunity to see what's currently going on in that. So yeah, he got bitten really, really bad, and I was like, oh, like is it the time that we get to talk about GBV in the country? And I know for sure, Guti, we've spoken about GBV numerous times in the podcast. We've even had people who are models, people who are in business, people who are my friends, even our friends of the podcast. We've had a lot of those, and we've spoken about solutions and what we might need to do as a country to make sure we curb the number of or the rate of GBV in our country, and it saddens me to know, Gucci, that's still going on. And shout out to the security guards, and that guy, in my opinion, because who beats up a lady, man? You don't do that. But I don't blame him. Maybe he saw that at home, and I think as a country we need to start talking about having plans rather. And I think I've touched on this before on the podcast, Uguti. We need to have plans, goals, set goals as a country. You remember the Truman plan, the Truman 5-year plan? Was it the Truman 5-year plan? And they achieved it. China has a 100-year plan. In 2025 or 2030, China released a statement that everybody in the country will be a millionaire. I think we need to set some of those goals for our country, and they need to be realistic. It's our fellow goals just to get us through or to show us what we are taking action. And I know that currently we are going through a whole phase of I'm voting for EFF. I'm not voting for EFF because A, B, and C. Malema doesn't want us this. I know there's a whole portion of people, and I know even the internet, I've saw people who are cursing out Malema to say, the moment you think about or considering voting for Malema, he starts talking nonsense, and you retract from saying that. And I saw people like Duduzane Zuma also released a clip in the meeting with some of the people that he was engaging with, as far as I don't know if he wants them to support his movement or the vision. I don't know, but I've seen a clip of him actually going on a live, or was it a live? Was just a clip? It was a clip where he was in the meeting basically with all these stakeholders of whatever company or like the business partners. He was kind of like sharing a vision of what he wants to achieve with the 2024 election, given that there's an electoral bill that's been passed that you can even run for presidency as an individual. You know what I mean? So you can run for being a political or as an individual. I don't know if it's a political party or presidency as an individual, but you can run for that. And I think Tutuzani, that's one of the approaches. That's one approach that he's using to make sure he gets into, and people I see now, they're warming up to it. They're like, oh, Malema is dead this, Malema dead that, so I'm not going to vote for ANC nor EFF. So I'd take a smaller party or Tutuzani Zuma to the stand, And what do you think about the people who are considering Tutuzani to be, a part of the people that, are being considered to run for 2024 election? What do you think about the movement? Do you like it? And if you don't like it, please do let us know in the comment section. And please don't forget to follow, rate the show to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. I've spoken about that. I want to talk about the ceiling challenge. Who do you think took it? Because I think on Saturday, was it Saturday when the W was playing? Friday night, I saw a video by Cindy MAKHATHINI, right? Cindy killed it. I was like, Cindy made it. He made it. And I actually saw one of the people, the founders of the challenge, and he was talking about how I found the challenge, wada. And I was like, yeah, you should come and see what the challenge is doing in South Africa. You should come and see why the challenge is so big. And I think a part of the people who really, really sparked the conversation around the ceiling challenge and who won or who closed the challenge, I personally think Cindy still takes it. between Cindy and CYAN Bougie, I think I'm still confused, I'm still confused. Is it 50-50? Because they got nyash like for days. And I really was looking into it. I was like, I don't really know who's who in a sense, because they both like Bamile, like they're Bamile, those two people Bamile, and they really know how to move their asses. Do I say asses or nyashes? They were nyashing around, and the nyashes were nyashing. That's for sure. So who do you think took it? Do let me know in the comment section who took that challenge. And Trevor, I want us to talk about Trevor, but I still say I still stand between Cindy MAKHATHINI and CYAN Bougie. One of the two took the challenge. For me, that's my opinion. One of the things that also happened in the weekend, the Trevor ad came out. You remember the allegedly 33 million ad that the gig that Trevor got. So he also said no, like there was also where he broke down, he broke it down with Anele 947. I think it was with Anele. So he was saying like, why are people saying and it was also a discounted rate. It's not 33 million from what I took and what he was saying. I'm not sure it was 33 million. It sounds like it was less, it can be more, or I don't know, but I'm just saying I think Trevor's charges are like international, so you would understand. And I think he's the right person given the portfolio or the report that he has to represent us to the world, and I think we stand to profit a lot from him as a huge figure in the world. I think the decision to have him be the brand ambassador for our country, it was a brilliant move. Maybe I might not agree with the prices, but I definitely respect Trevor and the business around what he built. And if we want what we want, we need to pay the price for it. And I guess we really needed the cash injection or the tourism industry. We need to find ways on how to spike up, trigger the traveling side of things of our country, because currently it's not looking good, and I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't even have stats to confirm that. And I want us to talk about something that's been annoying. It's jarring. That's what they say in Europe, but it's jarring when something is annoying. So I wanted to talk about, I've seen in Instagram when Trevor uploaded that thingy, what you call the thingy there, the ad that came through social media. I saw it in TikTok, I saw it in Instagram, I haven't seen it in Facebook. I've seen it in TikTok and Instagram, and I think it's a great app. And on Instagram, I took a levity, to read some of the comments that you guys had. A lot of people had some good things to say, and they were just bots, man. I even saw bots, and someone was saying, "Guti, they are Hamas. Is it Hamas? Is it the Hamas bots? Hamas bots? I think." That said, yeah, you are not saying anything about what's going on in Israel, in Palestine. Why are you quiet? I'm unfollowing. There's that, and they were like, chief, relax, chief, relax. And someone was like, no, those are the Hamas bots. So like in every comment or every post that a huge profile or person posts, and they don't talk about what's going on in Palestine, they'll just have those bots running in that person's profile just to make sure that they hit it with those comments. But in South Africa, people kind of like reading between the lines. They were like, hey chief, just wait for us, not with our Trevor, we are doing something for our country. And if you wanted us to help, why did you go into that in the first place? Certain things came, insensitiveness came, people were not sensitive to what was going on. And I was like, maybe they triggered it by what they were saying with the comments that they were posing to Trevor. Yeah, do let us know what you think on the comment section. Uguti, who do you think took the challenge? Is it CYAN? Is it Cindy MAKHATHINI? Please do let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to follow, rate, and like to get a notification for each and every time we release a new episode. And the book of the day is Atomic Habits. And I just want you guys, I told you the name, I want you to guess the name of the author. And do comment in the comment section, leave a comment and let us know who's the author of Atomic Habits. On the comment section, do let us know. And for those of you who don't know what the song of the day, I said it's an album by J.COLE, which was released on the 9th of December 2016, which is 44 minutes long. So the name of the album is For Your Eyes Only by J.COLE. Really enjoy it. I think it has some pretty great songs in there. I really enjoyed it. It's taking me, I'm going through a phase, and if I had to define what I'm going through in music, I would say that. So yeah. So how are you feeling? How's your day? Do let me know in the comment section. I'm your host, Lucifer M. Daddy Report, aka shoot your shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me daddy like Cairo. Let's meet tomorrow on another exciting episode. Have a lovely one. Cheers.